Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoim La Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, B'Hashem, Rachadash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. I just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And then this young lady that you see right here on the screen says Mississippi woman gunned down in McDonald's drive-thru while was cherished mother of 2 toddlers. Okay, it says a woman gunned down in the drive-thru lane of a Mississippi McDonald's was remembered as a cherished mother as thousands of dollars in support pour in into a GoFundMe. Kiana Jackson, 25, was shot and deleted by John Terriers Dampier, 27, June 16th, in what was described by people as an incident of domestic violence. On her Facebook page, Kiana Jackson listed her status as single. Dampier then turned the gun on himself and was pronounced dead from his injuries 2 days later. And that's Jake, man, going out of his wits for women, man. The scriptures talks about that, and not, matter of fact, let me see if I can get this one. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 25. Slot. I was right there. 25 and 21, it says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. And that's a lot of what Jake, fall for. They fall for the beauty of a woman. Matter of fact, I know it's, let me get this other one. I know I was kicking it with the beloved brother a lot earlier, and he was talking about Esau weaponizing box, man. He didn't use the woman to weaponize, basically, sex. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, First Esdras 4:26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their own sakes. And that's a lot of our men, these days. They run out of their wits for women. And it's really a setup by Esau, just being in captivity in his kingdom. Jake is really deprived of, of women, so to speak, because we're designed to have multiple wives anyway. So Jake be going so hard just to keep just one woman that's actually no good to him. She brings no purpose to the table. Now, I'm not saying that, well, in this American society, women don't cook, they don't clean, they're just a bill. Overall, that's pretty much what they are. They don't, I'm not saying all 100% of every single woman, but yeah, you're not getting nothing out of them. It's pretty much all work and reward as a man, especially as a so-called black man in these Americas, you know what I'm saying? Because the woman, she has all the power to take your children, which are your seed, which they actually should be with you if there is a breakup. But in Esau's kingdom, she's allowed to take your children from you, put you on child support, alimony, put you through hell trying to see the kids, visitation rights, and the children are used as a weapon. I'm not saying that's the case in this particular hookup right here. She wasn't bad looking, you know what I'm saying? I've seen prettier, but, not bad looking chick. Now, she, had that, that body. That body is what Jake really be going after. She can be a ugh mug, and Jake lose their mind over some ass and tits. But anyway, it says, and then he deleted himself. That's the crazy part. You deleted her, and then he deleted himself, that's just crazy. Now, it's not saying whether or not these children are his, but it says Jackson left behind, and that's generally the way that they do anyway. It's going to always be the mother. She's, you'll see the mother, she, will be screaming, my kid's this, my kid's that, and be acting as if it, the man had nothing to do with making those damn kids. But it says she left behind a 5-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. The GoFundMe described her as a cherished mother and beloved daughter, sister, and friend. As we navigate this painful time, we want to honor Kiana's life with the memorial funeral service she deserves, the page stated. Well, if you felt that way like that, you know what I'm saying, you think like, why would you not have life insurance on her and her children, So you talking as if she deserves, this what, a lavish funeral, which GoFundMe, that's kind of like been the covering for a lot of our people as of late, since it came out. People have kind of, they've been using that as a cover for most funerals. A lot of, and it's not just our people, it's other ethnicities that use that service, what I'm saying, to raise funds, for funerals and stuff like that. But mainly, we're under those curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. So, we're the ones that's at the bottom of the totem pole and really have to use these kind of services. Okay, but it says, because that is a financial burden. We are asking for help to cover funeral and burial costs, including the service. And anything left over will go to the trust fund for her children. Okay, but again, like I said, I didn't see in the article where it was speaking as if this particular guy was the father. It didn't say that. Short article, because it's pretty much about it. And now there's a lady right here that she's speaking on it, that she says she just met this lady in the park. It says, I didn't realize that I had just met this young lady in the park on Monday evening, just moments before this tragedy. Her kids played with my kids. She said her name was Kiana Jackson and asked if we could exchange numbers because the kids played so well together. She talked about going back to school for nursing at 25. She said they were going to go and get food after leaving the park. So my niece asked if we could go too, but I said no because we had other things to do. I would have never imagined that 5 minutes later she would be gone. Well, hell, you could have been there with her and got your ass gunned down too. Now, I'm assuming the guy must have been following her possibly. If he knew that, as soon as she left the park and she went to the McDonald's, he had been, keeping a tail on her or something like that. But let's get another one. Yeah, and the Lord is no respecter of persons, man. The Lord is not playing no games out here. You can be cute, you can be pretty, you can be the prettiest motherfucker on the planet. The Lord will call that spirit back. Deuteronomy 32 and 39, it says, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Right? I remember one time I seen the brothers on the highways and byways, and they brought this scripture out to a black woman, so-called black woman, a Christian. She was like, no, not my God. That's talking about Satan. So the brothers went to this particular scripture right here, and she couldn't take it. She just had to walk away. Because a lot of Christians don't understand or know that the Lord, he's actually the one that kills and makes alive. So they brought out this 1 Samuel 2:6, the Lord. See, it's in all caps. When you see Lord in all caps, that means Yahweh. The name Yahweh, that's the true name of the Father, Yahweh, meaning he exists or the existing one. And the true name of his son, which is coming to rule and to get us out of the hands of our enemies so our women won't be out here like this. And our men won't be going out of their wits for these women. His name is Yahweh Shai, which means that he's the savior or deliverer in the Paleo-Hebrew. So it says, Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. So that whole situation with her, that was the Lord. And let's get this Job 4 and 7. Because I was going into the comment boards, of course, that calling her a queen and that beautiful queen is gone. A bunch of damn simps in the comment board. They don't know why the Lord took her ass out of here. She could have been wicked as hell. Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? See? And the Lord placed that spirit of vengeance on this guy. Let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 28. Also known as the book of Sirach in the 1611 King James Bible. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the Lord created spirits to appease his wrath. There's no telling what that lady was doing. She could have been using those kids against that guy if they were actually his. Or they could have been kids that weren't even the father that she was claiming to be. Because a lot of women, they'll get down on you. Got some guy taking care of a baby for 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Baby not even his, And she'll know it, fully know it. had that guy literally taking care of babies that's not his, and she knows for a fact these are not, his children, but I'm gonna get him. It could have been anything. It could have been a number of things, just something that she could have done in her past life, which the scripture talks about reincarnation. She could have been one of those women back in the ancient days that was, screaming, crucify him, crucify our Lord. Let this blood be on our hands, on our children's hands, roughly paraphrasing. We have no king but Caesar. She could have been one of those people back then. Just never know, man. The Lord's ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, roughly paraphrasing. But verse 29, it says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So you got spirits that were created for vengeance that get a commandment from the Lord, and they're happy to get the commandment to go forth and take somebody out of here. And just so happened, it looks, hey, the children didn't get the grunt of it. So maybe those children was his. But hey, Jake get down. It was a Jake like 2 weeks back. Yeah, he gunned down the mama, the damn kids. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care. So whatever she done to him, she pissed him off. Okay, but let's check out some of these comments. Yeah, somebody talking about the GoFundMe. Yeah, all right. Somebody says, I swear this new generation of dudes are more emotional than women. Well, guess why they're emotional? They're emotional like that because they're being raised by single black women. Says this piece of shit killed her because her status said single. Well, I don't know if that was the case, but I'm assuming that's all I can get out of it. That comes from a low self-esteem. He probably thought he couldn't find another woman. Goofy as hell, shaking my head. But the thing of it is these dudes are being raised by single black women. They act like that because they only know a woman's way of doing things. Women are emotional like that. Yeah, somebody says that Facebook can be faithful. Just don't tell your business. Move on in silence. Yeah. But they can't help themselves. This is that generation of letting everybody know what the fuck you got going on. Somebody says exactly like telling everyone on Facebook that you will be on vacation for 2 weeks. Yep. Yeah, somebody says all the social media. Yeah, all that social media shit is like that. Somebody said he's a coward. Somebody says another coward with a gun. Somebody says, when does it stop? Well, it's going to stop when the Lord comes and get Esau. Edom, because you got to get to the source of a problem. Edom is a damn cancer. You can't just treat that shit. You got to eradicate cancer. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and the Lord is coming to do just that because Esau has set these women up to gad abroad. They're able to get up and just go out in the public and do what they want to do at any time of the day, night. They can do whatever they want to do, and that shit don't sit well with a lot of these Jake because Jake had that jealous spirit on him, man. Somebody says her great grandparents survived 400 years of slavery, beatings, and Lord knows what else, only for her to be gunned down by a jealous Ray Ray at McDonald's. Oh man, bro. Well, that even that 400 years of slavery was a part of the curses. See, our people don't understand what's really going on. Somebody said Anthony Johnson, another pretty lady gunned down. Tragic. That's all you can think of. Like, come on, bro. Somebody says, can we renormalize just breaking up with the woman and moving on? Well, that wasn't something normal. Esau normalized that shit. Esau told you women that you can just get up and just go your way when you want to because you didn't like the fact that this guy lost his job for a week or some shit, or just silly shit. You women are the ones that's issuing these divorces, man, over your feelings. One day you feel this way, the next day you feel that way, and then now you want a divorce. Esau normalized that shit. The so-called white man gave you that privilege of saying, you know what? He didn't get you a Christmas gift on time. He didn't. He got you a. You trying to tell me that's all that he would spend on you for Valentine's Day, and you bitches will break up with a really good man, It says, seems like all these dudes do is kill the ex-woman now. What gives? Well, that's the Lord. That's the Lord, man. Matter of fact, because we're living in a time period where the Lord is about to change things. You know, Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? Right? Because what's that one script too, where it talks about a woman shall compass a man? The Lord is flipping that shit upside back around. In Jeremiah 31 and 22, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh hath created a new thing in earth, a woman shall compass a man. And so Esau, the so-called white man, he was used to push that agenda, and women have compassed a man. But now is the Lord is starting to stir things up and flip things back around. And it's a lot of judgment going out in the earth. Well, first off, I mean, you know, for one, the Lord actually spoke before he comes, Matthew 24 and 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. This is one of the things that the Lord said will be happening when the disciples asked him what will be happening before his coming, or the end of this world, or the end of this age. See, the end of Esau's age, the so-called white man's kingdom, is falling. And as it's falling, one of the prophecies that was being quoted by the Lord here, or said by the Lord here, is because iniquity, because sin would be so rampant in the earth that the love of many shall wax cold. You're living in a time period where it's the most monstrous generation probably ever. You know, I know, you know, humans have been, you know, pretty much it's flood behavior. You know, this type of behavior was at its height when the Lord flooded out the earth during the days of Noah. That's why the scripture talks about just like the days of Noah, just like the days of Lot. There's a lot of wickedness going on out here, man. And then also as well, another indicator that we're in these last days is that 2 Timothy. Me and the brother was talking about that the other day. Chapter 3, verse 1. It says godlessness in the last days. 2 Timothy 3 and 1, it says this, know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. The word perilous is going off into difficult times, man. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. And that goes for women as well. Women shall be lovers of their own selves. Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. See, you have to realize too, you don't know what kind of relationship she had with her mother and her father. She could have been, you know, dishonoring her mother and her father. Which that's one of the commandments, you know, with a promise that, you know, that your days on you know, would last long, you know, or, you know, you live out, you know, pretty much a good stretch of life. You know what I'm saying? If you honor your mother and your father. A lot of these people these days, man, they don't honor their mother or their father, man. They cuss them out on the spot. They'll jump on them, be beating on them and stuff like that, putting hands on them. In the ancient days, man, your ass would have been put to death. Right? Okay, so it says, without natural affection. You think that guy didn't have no natural affection, man, when he done what he done. But that spirit of vengeance was on him to do what he done. Truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent. And that word incontinent goes off into without self-control. Fierce. That was a fierce thing that he done. Because I'm thinking the only way that he, I don't know, I guess, you know, some cities, they be kind of small. But he had to have been watching her to know that she was at the damn McDonald's just after she left the park. It says despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. So these are things that will be happening in days. And the average person that you come across, whether it's your neighbor next door to you or across the street, a person that you might see at the gas station, hell, at the damn McDonald's, people have most of these attributes about them, man. Wicked as hell. That's why we always say to pray. Let's get that, you know, pray to Yahweh about Shem Shai, man, before you leave your house throughout the day, you know, and just protection in general. Ephesians 5 and 15, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. You're living in some very dangerous times, man. And you think she got up and thanked the Lord? If she did, it was more than likely white Jesus, which is an idol. And it's camps down there in Mississippi. Mississippi is not, I mean, the state, it's a decent sized state, but, it's not saying what city. But the camps are known, got to be known down there, man. It's camps, GMS camps down in Mississippi. She could have heard the gospel, man, and talk shit about the prophets, man. Just never know. But anyway, these comments, though. This person says, so heinous, inhumane, messy, disgusting, distasteful, unnecessary, violent, unholy, indecent, sinful act for nothing. Well, you just named America. I'm glad I'm connected to see Jesus Christ with a sound mind. Well, Jesus is a damn idol. And a lot of our people are going to be destroyed and torched because they believe in this idol called white Jesus, man. The Lord's name is not Jesus. The letter J was invented in 1524. There was nobody being called on named Jesus back 2,000 years ago. The Lord was not some blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. That shit is idol worship. And the Lord said that he will have no other gods before him. He's a jealous power. That's an idol to our people. Okay, so this person says, ladies, please let a good man find you. I hate this happening to our youth. Crazy praying for her children. So sad. Well, you're living it just like the days of Lot, just like the days of Noah. Somebody says, R.I.P. beautiful sister. Man, that lady could have been wicked as fuck. Somebody says, disgusting. Somebody says, already 2 kids at 25, probably not married, and 2 different fathers. That just might be the case, but shit, at 25, shit, in the ancient days, hell, by that time, you'd have had about 10 kids. Easy. Somebody says, how very sad, a damn shame. Somebody says, why do women love bad boys but think they won't turn on them? Hey, that could have been a good guy. Them be the ones that snap too. People need to get life insurance early. Yeah. Said, this is devastating. Beautiful young lady is dead because she probably told him she didn't want to see him anymore. That's all it takes. He probably was violent towards her. One good thing is he took his own life. The taxpayers don't have to take care of him. He's a coward and cold bloodshed murder. Either way, everything that you said could have been fall back on her. Because when it comes to these women, there's absolutely no accountability amongst our women. No accountability. I was just watching some shit where they was talking about the women are canceling Tyler Perry. Like, you canceling this the motherfucker, he got all this money off of y'all. Jake wasn't going to see all them weak ass Tyler Perry movies. It was you women, because he wrote most of his stupid ass scripts towards you women. You're not gonna watch pretty much none of his movies. You're not gonna see too many movies about his guy that don't empower the woman on some some treacherous shit towards a nigga. So anyway, somebody says, why are these dudes killing our women like it ain't nothing? Because the Lord is doing it. See, our people don't understand. See, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Yes, and the brother brought that out at camp too. I think that was camp we was at. What was that? Our people don't get it. But they're going to. But it's going to be too late. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. See? Now, what do you think is going to happen with the children? If anything, they're going to be sent to their grandmama. Grandmama going to be overstressed. And the cycle of the curse continues, man. Right? But I'm going to end out, man. Steve, because nobody know what this lady done. But everybody in the comment board is that this guy was just the villain. Nobody knows what she done. Because women can be treacherous, man. Don't get me wrong. You do got some pieces of shit dudes out here, but a lot of these guys are raised by these single black women. And they're emotional as hell. Somebody says trying to be smart. So who was the white guy that shot her? Probably not. Well, hey, you damn Edomites, you're known for we ain't gonna even get off into the school shootings and y'all ass is bombing people right now. And the only reason why, we're under those curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, but you are the sword, or the that hammer that the Lord used, because that's your purpose. The Lord created you to be wicked. So you came up with wicked schemes and laws and devised wicked plans against our people. And see, Jake won't go back to the source. You got to get to the source of a problem. The source of the problem with the entire planet Earth is Esau. Esau, Edom. So when the Lord comes, he's going to get us out of the hands of our enemies, and we're going to go back into rulership. And nothing like that is ever going to happen to us as a people. You won't hear about no more of that black on black crime, which is one of the curses. Matter of fact, let me end with that. It's not going to be no more of this right here, man, when we go back into our kingdom. You Edomites act as if you're just the righteous people on the planet when everything on this planet is fucked up because of y'all. Can't get around it. When you go to the source, man. Let me get on verse 54. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. This is how we know who the Israelites are. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And if those really were his children, that was the ultimate leaving them. By taking your own life. You know what I'm saying? By taking the life of the mother, and then your own life. Right? But that tender and delicate man is no longer tender and delicate. We don't have that. We're going to get that back when our bodies are changed. We get those new bodies. The new covenant goes into play, where we'll have those laws, statutes, and commandments written on our minds and hearts. That's when we're going to have that tender and delicate love for our people, man. It's going to be it's unimaginable right now, because Jake is just so wicked towards each other. We can't even fathom our people actually really see. Jake want to come together and march. They looking for reparations. They looking for a bunch of shit from their enemies. No, we need straight, pure righteousness, and that can only come from the Lord, man. And that's gonna come when he comes to get us out of the hands of our enemies. That's going off into Luke chapter 1. I always say, read Luke chapter 1 if you want to know why the Lord is really coming. Because he's not coming for these Edomites. He's not coming for these Elamites. He's not coming for these Moabites. Those people that have had us in captivity all this time, they're going into captivity. It's just that simple, man. Because these people have ruled over us with a real wicked rulership and have destroyed us. We've been completely destroyed by our enemies, man. This stuff has a source to it, but it actually comes from us. It was prophetic, of course, but us breaking those laws, statutes, and commandments, or breaking our end of this contract that we made with the Lord, that first covenant, type of deal. Hey, it's got us in a real bad fix, man. So when that new covenant comes around, and you can read that in Hebrews chapter 8, which is being quoted from Jeremiah chapter 31, the new covenant is only for the children of Israel. That new covenant is not for you heathen, you other heathen nations. You nations that are being listed off in Psalms 83, the enemies of the Lord. These other nations are the enemies of the Lord. You won't have no problem. You won't have no parts in that new covenant, man. Y'all asses is gonna be straight in slavery, man. We gonna put that whooping on you. The Lord is gonna give us our lick back. The Lord is gonna give us that power to actually whip y'all asses, man. Right now, we just we're under right now. But that's the beauty of the good news. That's the beauty of the gospel. That's exactly what's being said, basically, in Luke chapter 1. He's coming to get us out of the hands of our enemies. So, yeah, you may say this is sad, but hey, we're with what the Lord is with, because the Lord is the one that killed her. It wasn't, the Lord just used him to do it. And then the Lord used him to kill his damn self, basically. Those are those spirits of vengeance, man. But either way, this is actually, a sense of mercy, because they're not going to have to go through Jacob's trouble. They out of here. Jacob's trouble is going to be nasty work for Jake, man, on this planet. Either way, yeah, let me go ahead and get out, man. I pray that this lesson was edifying. With that, Kwame Yasha Allah and a Baba Ball.